Hey everybody, it's Melissa, and today we're doing a comparison video of Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton versus Spirit of Kings by Arrakis. All right, this fragrance always gets compared to Louis Vuitton and Tigar by Bulgari, but I haven't tried that fragrance, so this comparison is gonna have to do for now. All right, as always, discount link for the fragrances I talk about in the comment section below in case you guys want to save some money, get the scents you want to try, but of course, buy where you're comfortable. All right, now first and foremost, Afternoon Swim is one of my favorite summer fragrances of all time, and y'all could just tell by how much juice is remaining in this bottle. It's not halfway yet, but when you compare it to the other fragrances in my collection, this is definitely like a top 10 fragrance, and I am usually grabbing for this, and especially on days like today where it's super warm. Now, what I love about Afternoon Swim is the fact that it's a very simple fragrance. It straight up just smells like oranges, and I think there's another note like probably bergamot, something very fresh. And I feel like there's other notes in here that just aren't disclosed, but for the most part, that's what you get here. It's a very simplistic, very sexy orange fragrance. And here's the thing, if you're somebody that wants complexity, if you're somebody that wants a polarizing scent that no one else is wearing and you smell Afternoon Swim, you're not going to be wowed by it. But this is something that to me less is more, right? And that's always kind of how I feel about fragrances. If you notice, the ones that I tend to gravitate to are like the minimalistic notes, but done with such high quality, right? So this fragrance, it was introduced to me actually by my girlfriend. She smelled a sample of it and she's like, I am going to get you that bottle if you don't get it yourself because it is super sexy, right? So she sprays a sample of it on me and I fell in love with this scent immediately. Now, here's where this fragrance gets a lot of crap, is the fact that performance here is not the best, like at all. All right, people complain of 2 to 3 hours of performance, and if you're spending like 250, 275, I'm not sure what this is marked at right now, then that doesn't really seem to be worth it. Now, I will say this, I have gotten complimented on this fragrance 5 hours after I've applied it, and I spray this on skin and clothes. If you guys want to see how I do my spray routine, I have a video on that to keep that nice scent bubble for the rest of the day. But just don't be surprised if you go nose blind to the fragrance. That's very common. Don't think that, oh shit, I can't smell it after 30 minutes, it's gone, the performance sucks. I've made a full video on that as to why you would think the fragrance disappeared when it actually didn't. So this thing does linger, but still, it's not something that has great projection. It's not something that has a scent trail. Just the winning thing about Afternoon Swim here is just how good the smell is. All right, again, you don't need to have something complex to be a good scent. And I honestly think that good is like an understatement when it comes to this fragrance because it's also so smooth. This scent is just something that you wear it and you're gonna feel good when you wear it. And by the way, it is a unisex fragrance. Anybody can throw it on. I feel like between the two, this is more unisex. This one goes a little bit more in the masculine direction, and I'll explain why. But I've had lots of guys, had lots of girls that have bought this fragrance off my recommendation, and it's just been their go-to. It smells so good. It smells really, really good, all right? Now, when it comes to Arrakis by Spirit of Kings, this isn't an orange fragrance, all right? It's a grapefruit scent, but it also has woody notes and it has ambroxan. And I just have to tell you straight off the bat that Arrakis is much more of a sour scent. I think Afternoon Swim, if you had to compare them based on smoothness, this will win hands down. It is just so beautifully blended, whereas this one here is a little bit more choppy, all right? This is actually my scent of the day, and lately I've been using Arrakis, so I definitely smell the similarity. It is there, but again, when it comes to smoothness, Afternoon Swim is just so much better in that regard. Now, the grapefruit here is something that, to me, it's good, but I prefer the citrus in Afternoon Swim. All right, if you're somebody that loves grapefruit, let's say you're a fan of things like Bleu de Chanel, right? Then I think that, and you're looking for that summertime fragrance, I think you're probably gonna like this, but the ambroxan can get a bit heavy to some people. All right, this can become a little bit headache inducing if you're not a fan of something that is a bit sour, like a bit too sour citrusy, and that has that ambroxan. But the reason I like the ambroxan in this scent is the fact that it does help with performance. Where Afternoon Swim gets complaints of lasting 2 to 3 hours, people generally get about 5 to 6 hours with Spirit of Kings Arrakis. It still isn't the best type of performance, but it's still a little bit better. And I know performance is a big thing when it comes to people wanting to purchase a scent. So in terms of performance, this one wins out over Afternoon Swim. But yeah, the way that this fragrance is blended, I don't actually pick up any woody notes on myself. I know that there are people that get woody notes maybe like 30 minutes to an hour in when they wear this, but on me, it is straight up a grapefruit fragrance that has that ambroxan sort of projection. You know, this is something that does project pretty well. I don't really get much of a scent trail with it. Not that I even apply much of it to a point where there would be that kind of scent trail. Honestly, I do about 3 sprays of this scent, because I did do 5 at one point and it did last for longer than 5 to 6 hours, but it was kind of too sharp for me. Like, it kind of hurt a little bit on my temple. I was like, okay, this is too much. I didn't like doing 5 sprays of this. And even though performance could have been better, I just didn't like it. It felt like too much for me as the wearer as I had it on. So for me, like 2 to 3 sprays of this is just like the sweet spot when I'm running to do errands. But like I said, I have some of this on right now. It's around my neck, but let me spray this right now just on my wrist, because yeah. Okay, these are similar, but if you've tried Afternoon Swim and then you try this, I honestly think you'll kind of be like me, where you're like, okay, I sort of get it, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, if you were to get Spirit of Kings because it's about half the price of Afternoon Swim and you've never tried this fragrance before, you're gonna get the wrong impression of what Afternoon Swim smells like, right? Because of a lot of these comparison videos. I think in their dry down, or when you go past the citruses of the fragrance, right? How I said that this is orange and this is grapefruit. When you just go past that, just a level beneath that, they have a similar sort of scent. And with Afternoon Swim, I can't put my name on what the notes are in that regard. With this, maybe it's just that ambroxan, but they do have that similarity when you go past the initial grapefruit and orange that you smell. But it's obviously there. I mean, I smell it right now. I honestly think this fragrance smells better in the air than it does the closer you get to your skin. Whereas Afternoon Swim, whether you smell it in the air or you smell it up close, it's just divine, you know? So yeah, this fragrance is a bit choppy, but it's still a good scent. Like, this is just, especially on a really hot day. I know that I've been saying summertime, but here's the key for Arrakis, in my opinion, all right? I've worn this on a really hot day, and I've worn this on a so-so warm day, and it didn't smell that good on the warm day. Now, like, hear me out, all right? On the hot day, this mixed with like the heat when I was outside, when I was working out, it smelled good. I was like, okay, this shit is fire. Like, I'm gonna wear this. I want to wear this for like the next few days and see how it is. But when I wore this on like a day that wasn't that hot and I was doing those same sort of activities, it didn't hit the same. And I guess here's how I'll try to compare it, all right? When you like think of Afternoon Swim as like orange juice, right? You can have orange juice, like orange juice is gonna hit on a hot day, and it's also gonna hit on like a not so hot day, right? It's just good no matter what. Whereas with Arrakis, people don't really drink grapefruit juice, but think of like a cold glass of lemonade. Does that hit better when it's hot outside and you're at the beach, or when you're indoors and it's like 65 degrees, 70, right? I mean, it's still gonna be good, but it's not gonna be like as satisfying as having it on a really hot day when you're like sweating and you need that cool refresher. So that is how I feel about Arrakis. Like this, I now know what it's better in. Like if I were to go to festivals, right? Like Coachella just happened recently. like this would be the type of fragrance that I would bring to a place like the desert, because it's gonna smell good in that environment. Hands down, like Arizona, Vegas, like all those areas, I feel like this is gonna smell really, really good. But if you're wearing this in a place like, I don't know, Seattle, Minnesota, Montana, the UK, you're gonna be like, oh, it's not even worth, like it's not gonna feel the same. Whereas Afternoon Swim will still be a satisfactory fragrance no matter where you are. Again, I feel like the only people that would really critique this scent are the ones really looking for like that niche fragrance, and they want to really try to smell different, and they don't like things that a majority of people will enjoy. You know what I mean? It's like those are the type of people that I feel like would hate on Afternoon Swim. And of course, the ones that are disappointed with the performance, that rightfully so, right? But with both these scents, I have gotten a lot of compliments. Of course, more with this because it's been in my collection longer, but I have been surprised by the amount of love and reactions I've been getting from Spirit of Kings, Arrakis, and those have just been coming from women in particular, which leads me to my next point, and I'll just hit it real fast, that Arrakis leans more masculine to me. I think that this is the more masculine fragrance out of the two, and I think a lot of that has to do with the ambroxan. Not saying that feminine perfumes can't have ambroxan, because Delina does, but they're just more prominent in the masculine fragrances. So if that's what you're choosing from, whether you want something unisex or masculine, then the masculine choice, Arrakis, the unisex choice, Afternoon Swim. But this scent, honestly, whoever wears it, right? If you spray it on a girl, it's gonna smell more feminine. You spray it on a guy, it's gonna smell more masculine. It's just the way that this fragrance works. Use this also, by the way, like as your gym fragrance too, by the way, and it's just gonna, I said that twice. It's gonna smell good. Anyways, let me know what y'all think of these scents. Again, I'll put the discount link for them in the comment section below in case you guys want to support and show some love. It is an affiliate link in case I did not disclose that. But of course, buy wherever you want to. Let me know your thoughts on both these scents. And maybe the last thing I'll say is, in terms of price, this might be the better price point fragrance just because of performance. But when it comes to just smell, like this just knocks it out of the park, but again, what's worth $250 is up to you, not me, right? You're gonna be the buyer in this regard. But anyways, have a good day. See you in the next video. Bye.